Yo, Devy Junkies. Welcome to the Devy Dashboard Scouting Series. I am your host, Brandon Lejeune. I'm joined by my scouting partners, Corey P. and Britt Sanders. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Just
good,
dandy.
man.
All right. Well, we're excited for this show. We are going to break down a little Tyler Goodson film, Iowa running back. All right. We're not only going to dig into his scouting film here with some great film, but we're also going to get into the metrics of Tyler Goodson, and we're going to compare what his film and his metrics say, because we want to determine whether or not Tyler Goodson is going to be a dynasty asset on our dynasty rosters. So this film session here that we're excited to bring to you today, we're going to be talking and looking at Goodson, his skill set and his metrics, not from a campus to Canton kind of focus or college production, but we're going to be looking to see if he's going to be an RB1 or 2 on our dynasty rosters, right? So I'm pretty excited to get into his film. We have a saying here at the Devy Dashboard that you got to look beyond the highlights. So I think you're going to find this film very informative. We're going to give you our opinion on Tyler Goodson. All right. We're going to be breaking down his running back film. You're going to see here on the screen, we got patience and vision. We're going to look at his footwork, his lateral ability. We're going to look at his burst and long speed, strength and contact balance, and his pass catching ability. So for me personally, I think it's really important that when you're scouting players that you have a criteria of, traits that you're looking for to compare each running back, trait to trait. So through these films, we're going to be producing a lot of these films coming up. They're going to be out there on the Devy Dashboard on our YouTube channel. So we're really excited to get into it today. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk here a little bit, and we're going to see what his measurables are here. So, hey, Corey, so why don't you tell us about his measurables in his season last year?
Yeah, so Tyler Goodson's a little bit small, but I guess on some standards. He's 200 pounds at 5'10". 200 is kind of right around that mark that we're looking for. Hopefully he's going to come in a little bit higher than that. But in 2020, he had 762 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. Had a good average at 5.3 yards per carry, not too bad. He was pretty involved in the passing game, 15 receptions, 152 receiving yards, not bad. It was all good enough for a 28.4% dominator rating. It was his breakout year. So I'm eager to dive into his film and see what we can come away with.
All right, cool, man. We're going to break down this film into criterias. The first we're going to do is vision and patience, okay? So we're going to go through these films. We're going to run them through. So you're going to look at them, okay? All right, and then we're going to just simply comment them. And this is film that you're going to be able to, take a look at. All right, so here's a play, that again, I think he lacked a little vision on this play, kind of ran into the pile. You're going to see this with Tyler Goodson's film as we go through these, okay? So here's another play, okay? Little scat. All right, we're going to go and just to break it down a little bit more. All right, on this particular play. So kind of goes lateral, little good patience there. Okay, kind of going a little too lateral. I think he could have cut up this hill, cut up in this gap right here.
Yeah, you tend to see that he does kind of dance around a little bit too much, more than I'd like to see anyways. He thinks he can kind of get out of anything sometimes.
So like I said, here's a play. You're going to see a lot of this kind of play with Tyler Goodson. All right. So it goes into this. And I think he left on this particular play a little bit on the table. All right. So he has the ability here to at least make one of these guys miss here. All right. At least. But he just kind of runs into the pile and really gets shoved back pretty quickly on that.
Right. Play. And if you go back to that play, go right to when he gets the handoff here. Now pause here. You can see 84, the tight end right there. He's swinging. He's pulling from the other side. You can actually see a gap open up between 84 and the right tackle there that he could have exploded for. Who even knows? There's nobody else in that backfield. So if you run it back a little, if you run it back a little bit, you can see that 84 is swinging right. It looks like it could be designed to even go that way. And he could have hit that hole and got a couple more yards right there for sure. Instead, he just kind of barrels right into here. I noticed this in a lot of his runs as a lack of patience. He kind of just takes the ball, and he's going 100 miles per hour right into the back of the line.
Yeah, and I don't like his pad level. He kind of squishes down here, but doesn't lay a hit. He gets the hit laid on him.
Yeah.
So, here's another play that is a little, again, he runs forward. Now, I feel as though the only guy he's got to beat is this guy right here. Now, he can either outrun him or he could make a cut and cut inside. He's got some pass, some help up here with a block, but he kind of stops and just lets the guy manhandle him and throw him to the ground.
He's not even initiating contact either, which is really frustrating. He's letting the contact come to him instead of at least trying to create those extra yards after contact, which if you can see, once he gets hit, he doesn't get any more forward momentum from that carry. He's going back, if not laterally. So he's not even falling forward when he hits contact, which is a bit frustrating when we're looking for running backs.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk about his play strength later in the film, but I mean, I question his play strength and his ability to move the pile.
No, definitely. I don't love the hesitation all the time at the point of contact too. You see him almost kind of slam on the brakes before he hits contact, and like Britt was saying, you can get a couple more yards out of that if you just kind of leg turn, drive your legs a little bit. But that's probably more contact balance and strength, anyways. But
right. So again, here's another play where he just simply now look at the opportunity.
Yeah, look
here.
at the hole.
Now look at
there's no patience.
No, there's no patience. He's not even looking at this where he's got this linebacker here. This is the only guy he really needs to beat. He's got these two guys here to worry about. But again, he just, boom, just right into the hole. I mean, it just doesn't. But he did a decent jump cut on this play right here. You know, a little patience.
Yeah, he actually did show some patience. I think your next play as well, he actually showed a little bit of patience as well. That, you know, I kind of say he kind of shows some flashes of it or whatever, but overall, I was kind of disappointed in his vision.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he's got great vision. Example again of just the missed opportunity. Okay, so all he's got to do is beat this guy. He's got help up here coming to take away maybe this corner or safety. All he's got to do is beat this guy, and he's got all of this space, you know, wide open right here. Yeah, he just runs in and he gets taken down really easily. He just missed you know, the ability to make that guy miss. He can't juke guys out of their, you know.
Yeah, this one I didn't mind either. He kind of, you know, showed a little bit of patience, juked that guy there, tried to cut back inside, didn't have the feet work to do it, but he kind of showed a little bit there, but yeah.
Yeah, no dead leg. It could have been nice to have a dead leg right here, right?
Yeah.
If he had a dead leg right here to make this guy miss, then he's got this ability to get open here.
Yeah.
He at least shedded that tackle too, so.
Yeah. Again, at least
there's that.
Yeah, the contact, right? So, you know, again, this goes with footwork and lateral ability. I think there was, again, a missed opportunity here. I mean, he's doing the nice thing. I think he's manipulating these defenders.
Yeah, he's trying to.
You know, he's trying to get these guys to bite inside, but he doesn't have the footwork to get out and make a play.
No, that was a tough play though too. I mean, he's looking down at two defenders right there. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Kind of hard to do anything, but
yeah.
Yeah, this one I didn't mind. You know, I kind of liked. There were some things, especially on the second level, where he's kind of has the ability to string together a couple nice moves. You know, he had spin move, juke. Yeah, there was a one long run I think coming up too, where he kind of weaves the guy back and forth. But he does some nice things at the second level. But I find near the line of scrimmage is where he really struggles.
Yeah. It's just another angle of it.
Yeah, it was a nice spin move.
Yeah, really nice spin move. Decent contact, but he fell forward on that play.
Yeah. And then here, he has the confidence from the last play, and he tried to do too much back here.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he doesn't have an opportunity here, but that's tough. You know, he tried to do as much as he could on that one.
I don't like seeing how he backs up, though. You know, if you see it's dead, just drive forward and get what you can, you know.
There we
go. That was probably his nicest run of that we've seen so far.
So that was good. I liked I like how he worked the line of scrimmage, right? I think he pulled in that linebacker. He pressed the line. Then he went lateral, which was nice on here around the edge. But what I have an issue with, I would love to see him lower his pads. Look how high his pad level is when he takes that shot, right? I mean, he moves forward. He gets to the 4 yards and the touchdown, but you know, it would have been nice to see him maybe put his pad down a little bit more.
It's kind of relying on his momentum right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes pretty far back when he takes the handoff. You kind of wonder, like, NFL athletes, if they're going to stop him dead in his tracks there. He's kind of lucky to get out of that. But
now I put this play in here because this is the second level I wanted to do. He goes around the edge. There's not much to go. But here, I would love to have seen him being able to dead leg this guy or at least make a play here. And again, he slows down and just, again, the spin move. Would have been nice to see him manipulate that guy a little earlier. Instead, he just kind of slows down a little bit. And all right, so let's talk about his burst and long speed. Thought this was a good play on his part.
I do find he has like some pretty decent acceleration. I don't know if the top speed is definitely there. He does kind of burst out of the hole pretty good. And like we were talking about, he hits it 100 miles an hour. He grabs the ball and he goes, right? It's probably like his only best trade, I guess. But here, I like this run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Breaks a little contact there, manipulates this guy back and forth, plays with him. Yeah. Has a speed to finish it. You notice these guys are keeping up with him most of the time, though. I mean, like, if he didn't kind of juke these guys out, he probably was going to be stopped by 21 there. 89 comes and makes a good block there, but
like he shed the contact there, which was nice.
Yeah.
Look
at 65 keeping up with him.
Yeah, he's running down.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little later too, his long speed.
Yeah.
So it's nice he got around the edge here.
Yeah, this is where a lot of his big plays come from, is that toss to the outside like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it takes a decent angle, doesn't go too wide, just kind of takes the angle that you need to get right to the first down marker. That's good.
There you go. He's got the speed to reach the edge, which is nice.
Yeah, but again, he just really goes down easily, man. I mean, he really, I mean, you look at that play and he's on the sideline, but I don't see any like ability to shed tackles. Thought this was one of his nicer plays.
There you go.
Yeah, weaving in between. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, and I mean, he shows decent burst. I think he has good acceleration on that to 10 yards. Like, I question his long speed a little bit, but I do think he has some pretty good explosion, and in and out of his cuts. Like when he did that spin move and when he did the juke on that earlier run, like he was actually fairly quick coming out of them. So, see this one, you notice once he gets the top speed, that 55, it's got to be a linebacker, I'd imagine. He's dead on him. Like, I question what his long speed will actually end up being. But
watch what he does at the end of this play. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But hesitation, like you were just about to say, it's the hesitation right before contact, always.
Yeah, it's like, what are you slowing down for, right? Take number 23 and bowl him over, or make a cut. Make that cut and get cut back inside, or at least don't run out of bounds and get 3 or 4 more yards. I mean, he just really slows down at the point of contact.
Yeah,
you gotta wonder.
Oh God, this one's not going to be fun, I don't think. Oh, at least, that one wasn't too bad.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. But most of it is like this, like you're seeing, like he's falling back. He's not churning his legs. If anything, sometimes I even notice he's like giving up before even the contact hits. That's already
exactly what I think. He just doesn't have the power to move the piles.
No, he accepts the fact that, once he's wrapped up, that's it. I'm just going down. Like, he's not trying anything else to get out of that. You'll watch, like, his legs come to a dead stop when he gets hit.
It is. I mean, this is why I have it on this play particularly for the end. Okay, so, he's here. Number 25 is going to get him, and he has no ability at all. He goes down like a lawn chair. I mean,
that's just an arm tackle, too, on your thigh. Like, I mean.
Right.
You should be able to break that.
I think he looks pretty natural as a pass catcher.
I do. I like the way he caught away from the ball. Yeah, he caught the ball away from his body there, which is nice. A lot of this is screens. I think the majority of this is screens. Unfortunately, it wasn't super involved in doing wheel routes or anything like that. But he's got decent vision. He seems natural catching it. I agree there.
I wish he didn't outrun his blocker right there.
I know. I was just gonna. You just took the words right out of my mouth, Britt. It's a shame. Like right here, he could take this to the house.
No patience.
And he's going to be getting, tackled by a linebacker pretty easily there.
I didn't mind this one. I'll tell you why. Because the quarterback gets in trouble, and I like the way
And
that he works back to him to give him an option.
right.
I like the way that he came back towards him, because if he just continued there, I don't know if he would have been able to get to him. He's kind of in trouble, but either way he works, he gives him a quick outlet, gets a couple of yards. I mean, that's a positive play in my opinion.
It is, but I want you to watch the end of it. For me, again, it's the same reoccurring theme that I think we're seeing. Okay, again, if you look at this footwork, right, instead of the left leg being the dead leg to make this guy miss, going back to the footwork, right?
Yeah.
This is doing all the work when he's trying to go to the right, right? And again, this guy, he has the inability to shed that kind. And look how he crouches down right at the end. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of again avoids the contact or sees it coming and just
so easy, just falls. Yeah,
I guess if that guy number 42 is looking to take my head off, maybe I'd be ducking too. So, but again, I just think he had some really decent hands. But
yeah.
So I don't know. So there's our scouting session. So what are your guys' overall thoughts? I mean, I think. His vision, I think, is questionable. I think his play strength is questionable. I think he has some decent burst and the long speed, I think, is not there. So what are your guys' thoughts?
I think he has the ability to be a shifty player in space, especially on the second level. I like the way sometimes he was manipulating some of those guys. I don't think he's Barry Sanders going to juke you out of your shoes, anything like that. I kind of related him to like Kareem Hunt elusiveness on the second level. If he can kind of slip out of tackle, sometimes hit you with a nice spin move. But, like you said, I have questions about vision. I have questions about the long speed. The burst is there. He's explosive at times. I think he can burst in and out of his cuts pretty well, but, not a lot of variety on his routes that he ran. He's difficult to place kind of for NFL terms. I don't know how he's going to fit in. He's smaller, not too big. So, yeah, I have a lot of questions about him going forward.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about his metrics now. All right. And we got to, Britt's going to go through his metrics, because I think that's equally important, right? I think metrics are getting more used by the Devy community. I've always been a film guy. I always have film, don't lie. You can see his traits on the field and look at those skill sets, those traits. And I think that's super important. But more and more analytics metrics are being a part of the the scouting process. So Britt, what are your thoughts on his overall metrics?
So I want to start off by kind of putting some numbers behind what we were talking about on the film. First of all was his long speed, which we both acknowledged a couple of times about seeing people and linemen and linebackers that were catching up to him that they shouldn't be catching up to him. When he entered in his freshman year, he ran a 12.01 second 100-meter dash. When I extrapolated that out to get a projected 40, his projected 40 was 5.05. And me and Corey talked a little bit, and we were thinking, like, okay, clearly he's not a 5-second 40 type of player. But what that did show us, and we saw in the film, is that he's not going to have that long speed to break that run, which he can do with his acceleration, and then house it. And so if you aren't able to break it in college, you absolutely are not able to break it in the NFL, right? So when you see Tony Pollard, he gets his big break week 15. He broke a couple of those big runs because he just accelerated past the field and through everyone. Tyler Goodson just isn't going to be able to do that. So I think his projected 40 time at 4.55 is pretty accurate regarding what we're going to see speed-wise, and I'm sure he's going to have pretty good acceleration numbers at the combine. But what I like about with his profile, his receiving market share, 9.6, is a super high percentile for running back. And yes, a lot of that is screens, manipulated touches, kind of the same argument we were making with Max Borghi last year, kind of by creating those numbers. But what we're seeing is him being involved in the passing game and kind of being able to be more of a dual threat, which he's going to need, since we've seen he's not the most proficient and efficient runner. He saw a rushing share percentage his second year of 55.7%, which his first year as a freshman, he had a 45% split of the carries, and he was only seeing 35.6% of the rushes. His sophomore year, he got a 65-35 split, so he's on the 65% favor, and he had over 55% of the rushing share, which is about what you want when you're looking at a player who is getting majority of the share. Obviously, you want them over at least 50% of the rushing production. His weighted dominator rating. So what we do is we're weighting more yards compared to touchdowns. It's an 80-20 split. So touchdowns are a bit fickle. They're difficult to kind of rely upon 50-50. So it's just kind of, this weighs the yardage more than the actual touchdown production. So him having a 29.9% weighted dominator is really good. And I think it's testament to his ability to break away a play every once in a while, right? He may not house it, but he's able to at least create those dynamic big plays, as you can see in his breakaway percent of 40.9%, which means that he has 40% of his runs went 15 or more yards, which is great, and you love to see it. I just don't think he has athletic profile that's going to be able to make it translate into the NFL. And the last thing I want to point is that he has a BMI currently of 28.8, which is, like Corey mentioned at the beginning of the show, is it meets that threshold for what you want. It just makes me a little it makes me a bit excited, actually, because I think he's going to be able to build upon that. But if it comes at hindering his overall athletic speed, then I think it's going to actually be more of a detriment than a positive for him. And if he does run a 4.55 at his current body weight, he would get a projected weight-adjusted speed score of 93.32. And when I'm looking at a rookie from the metric side, I need them to be above 100. So being 7 points below 100 is pretty significant to me, especially for a back that's a bit lighter and doesn't have that requisite size to be a workhorse. Overall, the number, his current production in the NFL is very nice, but I think you're able to kind of provide context to what we're seeing on film, and it's a bit concerning. A couple of these other things are a bit concerning when I'm looking at how he's playing. And he is going to be a bit younger in the draft. He'll be probably around 21 at the age of draft with a 20.8 breakout age. I'm a bit hesitant on him. I think he's more of like a dollar store Tony Pollard in the NFL, quite honestly.
I like that dollar store.
Yeah, I did kind of come away with that too. I almost wanted to compare him to Pollard, but he doesn't. That's the same, because sometimes I think with Pollard is the same thing where he lacks some patience. He gets the ball and he goes 100 miles per hour, and I kind of saw that with Goodson too. But athletically, he's not on that profile at all. And like you said, like 20.8, it's not bad. It's a little bit of a late breakout age still too. So, I mean, the only thing he kind of has going for him is that next year's class is kind of up in the air past the three top guys or whatever, right? So if he can have a good year, maybe he can throw his name in the hat to be drafted at a day 3 pick, But I do question his ability to transfer to the NFL with that athletic profile.
Yeah, I think overall we're going to do like a buy, sell, and hold thing, and I think he's a sell for me. I think, his ADP right now looks like is a 97. We just updated the ADP on the Devy dashboard. And so I think at that level, I mean, it seems pretty, in line where we are with, the 93 rank in our dashboard right now. But yeah, I think I'd be looking to sell him if I had him in my Devy squad right now, to see if there weren't anybody who might, look at these metric numbers and think that, wow, they really stand for him making a push to the NFL. I'd probably be looking to sell right now.
Right, and your best bet too might be to wait in season when he's actually going to be productive for Iowa and putting up these big games, and maybe you can get somebody to bite on him. Maybe hasn't looked into him as much as somebody else, but yeah, I think in season you might be able to get something for this guy.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Well, that's it, man. That is our show for Tyler Goodson. You guys got to watch some film, get some great metrics information, and all right, guys, awesome show, man. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.